If you're a Gemini rising, this video is for you. So what does it mean to be a Gemini rising? We hear that all the time, but nobody ever tells you what it means. It means your sense of identity, how people perceive you, comes across Gemini-like. What does that mean? Adaptable, playful, communicative, inquisitive. You have a mind and an energy that does not sit still. You want to know about everything and everyone. You're really social, you're really bubbly, you're really connected. Now, it doesn't mean you're extroverted. You could be introverted and still have a very inquisitive personality where you just ask a lot of questions, you just seek to understand. You tend to lead with curiosity. You're very adaptable. Biggest thing here is asking questions and having a mind that has never had enough. Also, your communication style. You might talk really fast or just really often. Gemini people, as a Gemini sun, we never shut up. We always have stories. We always have a lot to say. We're very entertaining people. So as a Gemini rising, my love, your personality is like a punch of excitement for anybody that meets you. Now I'm going to walk through all 12 houses to kind of give you the journey of a Gemini rising, right? So your identity, your sense of being, very bold and bubbly and playful, right? Now when we talk about your second house where your money lives and your values and your sense of self-worth, this one is ruled by Cancer. So what that means is that you tend to prioritize home, a sense of security, a sense of safety. That is important to you. Not only that, your money and your values tend to kind of ebb and flow with your emotions. If you're not feeling really good in your emotions, your money kind of tends to suffer and your sense of self-worth and values goes downhill. But when you're feeling amazing, your emotions kind of drive your money and also drive the way that you feel about yourself. Now, your third house of communication will be in Leo, which means you are bold and intense and you say what you mean and you mean what you say. Storytelling is probably a forte because it's very playful and imaginative and creative. The way that you're able to weave words together. Not only are you gifted and ruled by Mercury by being a Gemini rising, your ability to storytell with Leo and the playfulness, you almost let like your inner child lead and people just are glued to every word that you're saying. People who are Gemini risings tend to be really good teachers, really good leaders, really good just guides. They're just good at words and getting people to understand. So lean into your leadership. Don't be afraid. Now your fourth house is ruled by Virgo, which means you're very practical at home. You're very healthy, you're very tidy, organized, neat. Home has to feel good. And the way that it feels good is very meticulous, is very planned, is very structured. There's a system for everything, and you probably really take care of your body and your health. Your fifth house is in Libra, which your fifth house rules your creativity. It rules your sexuality, children. This is an area of your life where you seek balance, where you seek beauty and love and play and softness. So when it comes to your creativity and the way that you bring beauty into the world is through your ability to weave things together. So a Gemini rising that's coming to mind is a friend of mine. She's so gifted and so creative at like fashion and bringing together looks and spaces and aesthetics, and that's very Libra like. So her creativity just sees color and shapes, and she does all of these things. That's another thing that Gemini risings have in common. They're able to do a million things. They're multitaskers, they're gifted, they have this ability to weave together just all of these things, and it makes sense through their mind, and then they're able to kind of convey it through words and help you see the vision with the creativity. Now the Libra side is just beautiful, it's aesthetic, it's soft, but it comes through in their creativity. So whatever career you have as a Gemini rising, there's going to be a sense of beauty to it, especially if you're doing something creative. Now your sixth house would be in Scorpio, so you might be a little intense when it comes to your day-to-day life, your routines, your work, the things that you do. So the biggest thing here is your focus might be too intense. Sometimes your routine doesn't have to be that deep. Sometimes you don't have to be so particular and so practical about things. You can just relax a little and let loose. Boundaries are probably something that you really, really need, especially around your work and your day-to-day. And give yourself time to detox and take breaks from the intensity of it all. Like even if you're somebody that's really structured and you need that to thrive, it's okay to take a break from time to time. Now your seventh house is ruled by Sagittarius, so you crave freedom, which sounds counterintuitive when you're like, oh, but in dating, I want someone to be close. Yes, you do, but you want someone who expands you, someone who has a bright mind, someone who takes you to places you've never been before. Not only in the physical, because you probably are going to travel a lot with your partner, but also in the spiritual and emotional. You want somebody who pushes you out of your comfort and your boundaries. You need the freedom to grow independently and together. You want somebody who challenges your belief system. And the biggest thing is honesty. You want a partner that feels like truth. That's the best way that I can put it. Now, when it comes to shared resources with your partner, this is a touchy subject. Mainly because you have to build intimacy and trust before you feel safe. But any resources that are shared, whether it's through marriage or partnership or I don't know, anything that even comes through, I'm thinking eighth house Capricorn here, it's going to have a certain level of structure and patience. Like it's not going to come easy, but when it does, it's going to last. So hypothetically, what this looks like is you go into a partnership, you marry somebody, and it might be a little bit of a learning curve to kind of manage resources together, but you have the ability to have a very strategic mind when it comes to multiplying those resources, but there has to be a built-in sense of trust and connection in order for that to work. I know that one was a little tricky. I'll tell you more later. Now, your ninth house would be in Aquarius, so you are like a really free thinker. You have very unique thoughts. You're out of the box thinking, honestly. Like your beliefs are innovative and they are community focused, and you want to help everybody. And you're like, everybody needs a chance. Like, you just have such high dreams and high hopes, and you really see the connection between everything and everyone. Learning and travel are also going to be things that you're drawn to because it's all higher mind. So you're always going to want to keep expanding your mind beyond the norm. Now, your career flows through compassion, creativity, connection. So, there's something really heart connected when it comes to your career. You can't just do something because it's a job, you have to do something that feels good in your heart. I will say intuition is also going to play a factor here. So however you recognize it, maybe you're more logical, there has to be like a knowing of like this is what I'm meant to do. This is what feels good. And that may change because this is a very flowy energy sitting in Pisces, but it's also how you're meant to be known. It's for the causes that you're passionate about, for the things that you feel like you have a calling to serve in. Now, when it comes to making friends, you don't really struggle in this area. You're a leader with your network, with people. You're not shy. You'll approach anybody. You'll go pursue community and friendship. So people really resonate with you. Again, leader, teacher, don't be afraid to step into that role. Now, lastly, the way that you recharge, the way that you come back home, the way that you connect with your soul is through slowing down. And it's because your 12th house is in Taurus. It's going to be all about the senses, all about connecting with yourself, slowing down, being home. Now, you might be wondering, how did you know all of that about me? My love, astrology. I'm actually going to be hosting classes. I started last week with the basics of astrology. So it's one thing to say you're a Gemini rising. It's another one to walk you through your chart and tell you this is how you're going to experience each side of it. So this weekend, Saturday, October 11th at 10 a.m., I'm going to be hosting a Zoom class for part 2, where I'm going to be going over each of the houses for the signs. So everything that I just told you is based on the sign that is in each of your houses, depending on your rising sign. So if you want to learn and you're like, wow, that sounds really cool, tell me more, I want to be able to do it for myself, my love, is $25, 2 hours this Saturday. So comment here if you're interested. I'll send you that link. You can buy the bundle of 5 classes for $100. You can buy the 1 class for $25. Either way, I would love to share more. My intention is for you to know how to do what I'm doing, because astrology literally changed my life. But let me know if this resonated, if you have any questions, and I can't wait to see you.